Good afternoon. Hello to everyone. I am so happy you're here with me on Point of View with Miss Shirley Polk. This is Thursday. It is the 13th of November in the year 2025. I am so happy you're here with me. I am live today from Dallas, Texas on this Thursday, November the 13th, 2025 at 1 p.m. And I'm on from 1 until 2 p.m. unless I have something more to share or something less to share. So 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays is Point of View with Ms. Shirley Polk. And I am so happy that you are with me today. Wherever, whenever, whatever time it is, wherever you are, whatever time you're watching and listening to my webcast, I am so grateful to you. Thank you. And hang in here with me. We have so many wonderful things to talk about, so much information, whole worldwide of information. Okay? A whole wide world of information. And I am just so thankful for the researchers, doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, the medical doctors, everybody, researchers, everybody, scientists, and theorists. And oh, I'm just so happy for all of the information and for God giving me the intelligence, the wisdom, and how I don't know what else I would say, but it enabling me to have the education that He has blessed me with, and is blessing me with more each and every day to be able to bring this to you. Most of all, is because He gives me through His Holy Spirit what to talk to you about, what to share with you, and I am just so grateful for that. So grateful for that, dear God. As I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. And I just want to remind you that of my music. I have many songs out here on the World Wide Web, YouTube Music, YouTube, Facebook, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iTunes, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, and I have so much. And then on almost 40, it could be 40 or more digital sites that you can get my music from and listen to my music. So I'm all out here in this whole wide world. Thank God for the gifts of talents. I even have a 4 episode podcast, Ain't No Love. And you really need to go there, look on Spotify. And I also shared the 4 episodes on Facebook. But if you go to Spotify, go to Ms. Shirley Polk, you can find that. So there's so much, and there's so much to come by the grace of God. Oh, yes. So now I'm going to get into this. The ones that disrespect you and think that you don't know what they're doing. Doesn't that irk you? They insult your intelligence, don't they? They call themselves, well, we interpret it as an insult to our intelligence. And so, first of all, we want to make sure that we're not one of those people who's doing that to someone else. And if we have in the past, then we pledge not to ever do it again. Okay? Okay, so we have to clear ourselves of that. So, when uh, the ones who disrespect you and think that you don't know what they're doing, and that is really insulting to my intelligence. So, I have 2 articles here, have 2 of them here. One is from the site Let me get it. So there are two sites here, and as I go along, I'll uh, tell you these sites because I am very glad for these contributions. 11 subtle phrases people use when they don't actually respect you. And do you have someone that you feel you're close to, or you believe you're close to, or have been close to until you finally realized that you're just like, what is it? Oh, I did a show on that one time. The afterthought. That's Have you ever felt like an afterthought? As a matter of fact, have you ever known that you are an afterthought to some people and that you're only important when they need you to be there for them, when the other people are not with them? So, have you ever felt like an afterthought? 11 subtle phrases people use when they don't actually respect you, when they don't actually respect you. And yourtango.com. Yourtango.com is where this is from. 11 subtle phrases people use when they don't actually respect you. And there are some doozies out here who really think we don't know what's happening, what they're doing. And then that is really insulting, okay? The small ways people diss you without being blunt about it. And this is Michelle Reyes contributed this, and it's April the 27th, 2025. Michelle Reyes contributed this. As you grow older, there will always be someone who tests your patience. I know all of us can attest to that. As you grow older, there will always be someone who tests your patience. Whether it's a Karen at a store or a boss who doesn't pay you enough to care, you'll slowly need to learn how to navigate these tough situations. Oh, yes. From shining aggressively to rolling your eyes and staying silent, most have mastered the art of dealing with disrespectful people. Oh, this is so interesting to me. Like the man was saying, laughing, very interesting. And it is. So we're going to get quite a lot out of this today. Okay. However, what happens when the line between disrespect and casual conversation seems to become blurred? Oh, yeah, and it can be blurred sometimes quickly and sometimes very subtly. That's why I get aggravated and annoyed when people try to pull this on me. And you know what? I'm not saying that I'm the all best, and I'm going to say it like this, goodest person in the world. I'm not saying that. I won't say that. I won't claim that. But I practice treating others as I would like to be treated, as I want to be treated. It doesn't feel good when people do this to you, disrespect you, insult your intelligence. I'm sure you can say, yes, I know how that feels. Some say amen, I say amen. I know you can relate to this. There, there are people out here in this world who think. I love it. I love it when I think about Mother Stella Watson. She said they think they're all that and a bag of potato chips. Some people think that they're unmatchable, their intelligence, their education, and all of those learned things that they've done, all of the things that they've learned in life are superior to anyone else's. No one can match me. I am the best. I am all of that and a bag of potato chips. So, no, 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 no. It's not like that always, but there are some people who think that, and that's why we have to learn to deal with those people. Okay? We have to learn to deal with them, and we can deal with them intelligently, even though they've tried to insult our intelligence. We can still use our intelligence and deal with them. I witnessed someone in a debate, and they were talking. These two people were talking, and it was a friendly discussion. It was a debate, you know. Well, I believe this or I believe that. It wasn't biblical, but anyway, they were talking, and so one person was so skilled in it and so devoted to their statements and their knowledge of the situation until the person they were debating with got confused. Did you hear how I said it? Confused and forgot what they had said, and they ended up saying the thing that the person they were debating said. They got confused. Do you know there are people in this world who can confuse you and make you forget what side of the fence you're on if you're not careful? And so that's why it's very good to be careful, all of you bags of potato chips, okay, and all that, because some people can switch your mind around to you will be confused. So nobody is all that in a bag of potato chips. We're all in this together, and we should deal with each other as we want each other to deal with us, okay? All right. So let's go on. Oh, this is good. However, what happens when the line between disrespect and casual conversation seems to become blurred? And many times that line blurs, doesn't it? As much as you like to believe you can pick up on disrespectful people, there are subtle phrases people use when they don't actually respect you. And oh, yes, 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 yes. I know you can witness this, can't you? From telling you to smile more to muttering the phrase, that's cute. There are plenty of ways people undermine your intelligence and use their words to diss you subtly. And that cute, I remember years ago, someone complimented me. Well, it was the way they did the compliment, which I know was haphazard, and it was a half compliment, and it was based on, uh, hey, just say jealousy, okay? And that person said to me, "Cute." And since that day, and that has been decades ago, I cannot say that to someone. I don't even say it about babies. You know, people say they're so cute. I don't say that about babies. If you look on my posts, I would say precious, most of the time precious, because that irked me and it insulted me, and I cannot stand for anyone to say something's cute about me Nothing, okay? Because the way that person cute. Ah, yes, I am that kind of person because it was insulting to me. It was, it really was. Okay, because when you know a person, then you know when something comes out of their mouth and you dealt with them, you know them, then you know how they mean what they say, okay? So let me go on with that. 11 subtle phrases people use when they don't actually respect you. Number one, relax. It's not that big of a deal. Hey, it might not be that big of a deal to you, but to me, hey, it might be. The first subtle phrase people use when they don't respect you is relax. It's not that big of a deal. On the outside, this might seem like a careless phrase that someone said without considering it. Yet, whether they meant to or not, the result is still the same. It leads to someone getting hurt. Oh my goodness. Feeling rejected is one of the worst feelings someone can experience. According to the American Psychological Association, things such as social rejection can lead to anger, anxiety, depression, jealousy, and sadness. It can also lead to increased aggression and difficulty concentrating. Yet, despite the fact this is still a go to subtle phrase people use when they don't respect you. And I talked about when people offend you or when they do something to you, it could be physical, mentally, emotionally, and then they say, my bad. To me, that is an insult. That is not an apology. That's just a way to escape a genuine apology and make them feel better, thinking that because they say my bad, that that's sufficient. But it's not. Not with me. Not with me. Okay. So that's insulting also. So when people say that to you, this what is it? Oh, what it's not. What is the phrase? Despite that fact, this is still a go-to situation or purpose when people, when they don't respect you, when they don't respect you, relax. It's not that big of a deal. Oh yes, it could be a big of a deal to you. Okay, is this phrase the kindest to use? No. Yet, in the eyes of someone who doesn't respect you, they don't consider you to be worth that time or consideration. My goodness, worth their time or consideration. Now, with this in mind, you should pack your bags and go running rather than stay in a relationship or situation that causes you to feel rejected. As much as you like to make things easy, tolerating disrespect will only encourage them to continue doing it. And that is so true. If you stay there in it, 9 chances out of 10, they will keep doing it. And it might get worse than what it started out as. Number two, if you say so. Have you heard you say something? If you say so, that's the second phrase. Most of you have likely heard this phrase before, whether it's uh, at your parents' house or while having a mild disagreement with your partner. The subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you is, if you say so. Now, this may not seem like a significant issue for the average person, and that's true. Some people don't take it bad. Some people accept these little short phrases and things, and that's okay if you do. If it doesn't offend you, that's good for you, okay? That's good for you, okay? Most people who don't want to argue or make a scene will use this phrase to move the subject along. However, it's the implication and tone of voice that should cause you to raise an eyebrow. Whether you noticed it or not, saying this phrase implies that what you said was both insignificant and wrong. Oh my goodness. So, this is probably why the disrespectful phrase is so subtle. While most people wouldn't truly understand what the other person is implying, their intention is clear. You're dead wrong, but you are not worth the effort of having an honest conversation with. So, this in turn creates misunderstandings, which, according to a 2019 study, led to more conflict. Okay, led to more conflict. So, I want to go over one other thing here, go back to it. While most people would not truly understand what the other person is implying, that intention is clear. Their intention is clear. You're dead wrong, but you aren't worth the effort of having an honest conversation with. This in turn creates misunderstandings, which, according to a 2019 study, led to more conflict. So, if someone truly doesn't mean to disrespect someone, it's better to be honest and upfront because the only other option than this is to be insincere and disrespectful. Oh my goodness. Number 3, that's cute. Here we go. I'm not going to make a speech again, okay? This is the third disrespectful thing that can be disrespectful, okay? Cuz some people just talk like this. But then there are some of us who don't, and some things are offensive to us. Oh yes. So you're at the mall with your friends, and you spot this outfit that you think might look good, or maybe you're passionately discussing with your partner about your job and the new people you've met. While most of you might expect enthusiasm or, at the very least, honesty, a subtle phrase people use this when they don't actually respect you is, that's cute. Has it ever happened to you where you were offended by that phrase? That's cute. And when that person said to me, cute, cute, I was done with cute. Oh, yes. Never, you see, it's been over 40 years, I imagine. I still remember it. So when you think of someone uttering this phrase, what comes to mind? Is it perhaps someone looking at their phone, muttering the phrase, and scrolling back on TikTok? Because you wouldn't be alone. Let's face it, this is the most disrespectful and dismissive phrase someone can use. Oh my goodness. Unlike the other phrases, this one is blatantly disrespectful when observed alongside the person's body language. So, if someone is being dismissive, don't hesitate to express how you're feeling. After all, feeling disrespected is one of the cruelest things someone can do, and people do that deliberately to people. It's it's amazing how cruel people can be, how disrespectful people can be toward other people. According to Amy Lewis Amy Lewis Bear, MS, LPC, dismissing the feelings of others can cause them to feel invisible and unimportant, which can hurt you. Oh, yes. People don't realize this stuff comes back. It comes back at the time when you really don't want it to come back. Do unto others as you would them do unto you. Oh, yes. Number four, I didn't think you'd care. I didn't think you'd care. And that hurts too when somebody tells you that I didn't think you'd care. And then if someone would say that to me, it would make me feel it would I would think about it because I don't want to make anybody feel unimportant. I don't. It's happened to me many times, and I don't want to ever put that on anybody. Okay? So when someone truly voices, or when someone truly values a person, they'll always take their thoughts and opinions into consideration. Even if they disagree, they value the person enough to listen to what they have to say and adjust their actions accordingly. And that is true respect. Yes, it is. Yet, a subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you is, I didn't think you'd care. Hmm. I look at that in a different way. I didn't think you'd care. I guess it depends on what they're referring to. Yeah, and depends on the body language and the tone of voice. Because if your significant other were to go to a dinner or office party or just somewhere, and they are in the company of another person, or they take another person that you would not have approved of if they had consulted you about it, and then they tell you, I didn't think you'd care. Oh, then, as my daughter said one time, it's on and popping. Now, me being a saint of God, I wouldn't be beating up nobody or anything like that. God forbid. Hopefully not. Those who sometimes we think we are stronger than what we are, but I don't believe God would let me do anything like that. Well, I'm not in a position to do it like that anyway. Hey, this doesn't even relate to me right now. Now, in my former days, oh, yeah, yes. So there's a particular phrase. I didn't think you'd care. And it's the way people say it, just like the author is saying. So, after all, saying I didn't think you'd care is essentially saying I didn't consider your opinion at all. Now, this is especially true if it's someone close to you. As it stands, people closest to you should know you better by then. Oh, yes. And they do. I didn't think you care when people do these little subtle things sometimes. When they do these little subtle things, they do what they want to do. And then you say something to them about it. You express your displeasure in it. Oh, I didn't think you care. I didn't think you'd care. But they've already done the deed. So there's so many ways it could be expressed. And so you have to watch that body language and you have to know that person to interpret what they really mean when they say it. And sometimes it's not a harmful thing because some people can make people feel so worthless sometimes. They could be a nagger, and then you can ask them, would you go here with me? Well, and they refuse 99% of the time. And then you ask someone, would you like to go here with me? And then they say, well, I would have gone with you, but I didn't think you care. Okay, and I'm not talking about somebody as a date or anything like that. That you ask, but you could ask somebody else because they've turned you down so many times. And it could be for that same yearly event or something like that. So you just decide, well, I won't ask because they never go anyway. So I'll just ask my friend to go and she can go with me. And then they find out, I could have gone with you. And then you say, well, I didn't think you care. So that's a whole different way of responding to that. So there are many ways that you can respond: the tone of voice and the intention. Okay, so there's a greater problem to be had, and that's the blatant disrespect this phrase possesses. According to a 2020 study, feeling unimportant leads people to perceive their life as lacking meaning. So don't feel bad if you're upset or offended when people say this, whether they can admit to it or not. One thing is for sure, they don't truly respect you. Like I said, that's the way it's a situation, the way it looks, and then there's the story behind it. It could be his story or her story or their story, okay? Number five, you're so dramatic. Oh, people will tell you that you're a drama queen. And some people are drama queens and drama kings. You keep up drama all the time, love drama. But when you disagree with a person knows that they have done you wrong and you bring it up to them, oh, you're too dramatic. You're a drama queen to try to get that off of their back, to try to turn it around, to try to gaslight you, okay? To make you think you're wrong when you're facing them with their wrong, okay? So this is nice today. This is nice today. And so you might disagree with them, but everyone's feelings are valid. And that is so true. Everyone's feelings are valid. Whether someone is upset about something that happened in the past or is expressing their feelings about a current situation, there is a need to tread carefully when it comes to words. That's so true. A word can make or break a situation. Oh, yes, it can. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. It's that tone of voice, your intentions. Okay? Oh my goodness. That being said, disrespectful people don't care about their words, which is why a subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you is, you're so dramatic. So there's nothing dramatic about being vulnerable. Vulnerability is rare, as many people avoid it at all costs, okay? It's rare, as many people avoid it at all costs. And I did uh, webcast on vulnerability just maybe 2 weeks ago. So if you go back, you can go to YouTube. It's easier to find my webcast on YouTube at Shirley Polk or Miss Shirley Polk Davis or Shirley Polk Davis on YouTube. You can find that webcast. I talked about vulnerability. Oh, yes, this is all really, really good for us. There's nothing dramatic about being vulnerable. Vulnerability is rare, as many people avoid it at all costs. As a licensed marriage and family therapist, Marissa T. Cohen, PhD, LMFT, said, being vulnerable is not easy and takes time, and it requires us to let our walls down and let someone see our true selves. Oh, yes. So, this is why people should not feel ashamed for expressing their emotions. While it might be challenging to comprehend for the average person, that dramatic nature of yours is a huge indicator that you're more emotionally intelligent than those around you, which is something you should never apologize for. And that is so true. Never apologize for your intelligence. Never. And don't take it for granted and don't exploit it on other people, okay? Don't throw it at other people. There, we can be subtle with it and we can be helpful with it. All right. Number 6, you should smile more. I was in the store years ago, and people tell me you smile all the time. You just smile, smile, smile. There was a lady in there, smile, telling me to smile, and ooh, I was aggravated at her. Oh yeah, when you're in thought, you don't be smiling all the time. Did you hear me say that? You don't be smiling all the time. She said, Shirley, smile. Why? So I can please you? So, anyway, we have to be ourselves, okay? We must be ourselves. We are the only ones who know how to be us. So, let's just be the best us that we can be, all right? So, another subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you is you should smile more. There's no greater disrespect than telling someone to smile more. Let's face it, everyone has bad days, and there's no worse feeling than being said during those bad days that you should suck it up. Oh, yes. Don't nobody tell me that. No, no, no. Okay? Not only is that dismissive of your feelings, but it also shows how little this person truly cares. People don't know what is on your mind, and they want you to act the way they want you to act according to their, what should I say? Desires. I desire that you smile today. Smile at me because I want you to smile. Haven't thought whether anything's going on or anything. Some people, like I said, just disrespectful. Disrespectful. Oh, yes. Not only is this dismissive of your feelings, but it also shows how little this person truly cares. After all, if someone truly loved and valued you, then they would not be sitting here telling you to smile. Instead, they would be asking if you're okay and being your support system. This is important as the American Psychological Association notes that having a support system is crucial to overall well being and longevity. So, the next time someone tells you to smile more, respond with, "Give me something to smile about." Oh my goodness. I don't know what I could say that. Oh, we could say, like, well, yeah, you tell me some good news so I can smile about that. Oh, yeah, what kind of good news do you have today? Oh, there's a way. There's a way. Okay, there is a way. Number seven, wow, you're still on that? Yeah, people want to tell you, get over it, get over it. Wow, you're still on that? Okay. And they don't think about the times that they were still on that and you listened to them over and over and over again, couldn't get a word in edgewise. But hey, after experiencing betrayal or disrespect, it can be challenging to move past the hurt, and that's for sure. So when someone's stinging words or inexcusable actions haven't been appropriately addressed, there is no getting over it. Yet, this is precisely what disrespectful people expect. As a subtle phrase people use when they don't respect you is, wow, you're still on that. So just because they get over it doesn't mean you did. The impact of betrayal isn't something that disappears with a muttered, "I'm sorry," or "my bad." Okay, I'm added to my bad. Okay, my bad. So, no, it takes weeks to months of charged behavior or changed behavior, excuse me. People just don't get over that quickly. You want them to so your feelings can be spared. So you won't have to feel guilty when you're around them if they haven't gotten over it. People have motives, ulterior motives. And most of the time it's for them to feel better about themselves, even if they are the offender. They want you to get over it. Okay? So it takes weeks to months of changed behavior for someone to feel comfortable enough to trust again. Oh, yes, it does. So, according to psychologists and researchers Susan Krauss Whitborn, PhD, ABPP, betrayal by person you care about hurts because it destroys your self esteem. And that's just how it's written here. Betrayal by people you care about hurts because it destroys your self esteem. It does some damage. Yes, it does. But you know what? Take it from me. You can get over it. You can get over it and you can thrive. And if you will look at my, I don't know what it's going across there, live, love, survive, thrive, 2025 and forever. That is my slogan. Despite this, people who don't respect you, don't care about your feelings or comfort because they want to keep their ego in check. You hear that? They'll berate you for how you feel, causing you to shrivel up and keep your thoughts and emotions to yourself. They want you to clam up. Don't talk about it. Why don't you just get over it? Because they're guilty, guilty, guilty. And when they know you're not over it, that guilt lingers and lingers and lingers. Even though they did not apologize like they should have, but they want you to get over it. I was just being honest. I was just being honest. People can say some of the most horrific things to other people. Well, I was just being honest. So, you're sitting down with your family when the uncomfortable conversation about dating and weight comes up. Not wanting to delve too deeply, you do your best to change the subject and discuss something else. However, as they continue to betray you, the waterworks flow and you react, understandably, with anger. During these moments, a normal person would back down and apologize for their careless actions. However, a subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you is, I was just being honest. Sure, someone can be honest, but not everything someone thinks needs to be said. Oh, that is so true. Not everything needs to be said. Even though things, what is it Paul said, are expedient. Well, in other words, they're not it's not always wise. Even though you might be right in what you're thinking, it's not always the right time to say it. And it might not be right to say it to that person anytime or that group of people. Okay? All things are lawful, but not expedient. Okay, there it is. So, from comments on people's appearance to the way they live their lives, certain things should be kept quiet. As professor and licensed marriage and family therapist Jason Whiting, PhD, explained, being honest in relationships does not mean spouting off the first thing that comes to mind, especially when you're tense. So, with this in mind, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. If someone utters a hurtful or rude comment and then follows up with this phrase, say, there's a difference between being honest and being rude. All right. I was watching, I think it was Law and Order the other day, night, one of the on the streaming service, catching up. And the lawyer, they went in for the conference with the judge and they were trying to get, uh, one was trying to keep the evidence in, one was trying to get the evidence thrown out. So the one of the lawyers said to the judge, no disrespect, but, and then said something which was disrespectful to the judge, and the judge said, yeah, to say no respect and then no disrespect and then follow it up with disrespect. She said, the evidence is thrown out. So the lawyer that wanted to keep it in said no disrespect and then disrespected the judge, and the judge said, you say no disrespect and then come along and disrespect me. The evidence is out. Okay, number 9. That's just the way I am. That's just the way I am. And some people live on that phrase, don't they? You have to accept me. That's just the way I am. Well, hey, you go somewhere else with that just the way you are. If you can't respect over here, then I guess you can go other places that might take that stuff, but not here. So if you don't turn it down, then turn around. You have to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries. And it's not to say we don't try to help people. Try to help a person as much as you possibly can. And many people will appreciate it. Some people are just hardcore. They will not accept your help. And then that's where you have to put those boundaries in place and let them know you don't go any further than here. You have to do it. Everyone's had those conversations before. You're in the middle of an argument with a friend, family member, or partner, and things are getting tense. However, instead of calling it quits and apologizing for their words, a subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you is, "That's just the way I am." Yeah, yeah. Have you heard people say that? Have you said that to someone? Take a look at yourself, and you will look at others differently. Oh, yes. We have to check ourselves, like that sign on the highway going to Austin when you get, well, it's not right into Austin. It's outside of Austin. It's before, it's miles from Austin, but there's a sign that's on the highway said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I told my children about it, and my daughter said that was coined by Ice Cube. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? That's just the way I am. And that phrase can wreck the whole relationship. Oh, yes, it can. Everyone has their own way of doing things. However, in the real world, brushing off people's concerns and attributing them to "that's just the way I am" is dismissive and frankly immature. Like it or not, you can't remain the same way forever if you genuinely want to grow. And that is so true. According to blank, despite this, disrespectful people don't care if they grow or not. As long as they can maintain their ego, they don't care if their actions actively harm those around them. In their eyes, you will have to accept them for who they are. And people really, really live by that rule. If you can't accept me for who I am, then shame on you. But you have to respect others, do unto others as you would them do unto you. And if you don't know how, if you came out of an environment where you really don't know etiquette, you don't know how to really deal with people because really there are people in this world who don't know. They really don't know. And that's why those of us who do know need to have compassion and patience with people and work with people as much as you possibly can until you can either realize that you can help them and they appreciate it, or you can't help them. If they don't appreciate it, or you can help and they don't appreciate your help and they don't want to change. There are situations where you just have to stop and let it go. Okay? You don't seem like that type. Oh, there's another one. This is number 10. You don't seem like that type. So, has someone ever told you that you don't seem like the type at the moment? You might not think much of this, as most people tend to disguise it as a compliment. However, depending on the content in which, or excuse me, the context, however, depending on the context in which this is uttered, this phrase can go from being kind to being a subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you. For example, let's say you're in a meeting with a coworker while discussing your plans. A coworker comes up to you afterwards and responds positively to your leadership and input. However, on the end of that conversation, all this can come across as completely disingenuous when they uttered the phrase, I was shocked that you took control. You don't seem like the type that likes the spotlight. Ooh wee. Yeah, that's disrespectful. By golly gee. Okay. Firstly, assuming how someone is like, and then being shocked when that person you barely know is the complete opposite can raise a couple of eyebrows. So, after all, stereotyping someone and then admitting to that stereotype in front of their face isn't the kindest thing to do, let alone the most respectful one. And some people just don't know any better, and some people know better, but then, hey, they're insulting your intelligence and think you don't know what they're doing. They think that they're the sharpest tool in the shed until the other one laying over there in the corner proves to be the sharpest one. I know there's a song that I like. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. And then there's another phrase I like. I was watching a movie and there was someone that I think it was a villain that was hit shut up in a house, and so when the law enforcement got close to them, the person uh, I don't think the person wanted to surrender, whatever. And anyway, the one of the people said he lost a few shingles in the last storm, and I have not forgotten that. Lost a few shingles in the last storm. So that means that they're not all there, according to that person. So this is probably why avoiding this phrase completely is someone's most next best thing. So while they might mean well, and sometimes they mean well, okay? Sometimes they really mean well, okay? Uttering this during a meeting or worse on a first date will definitely cause the other person to run the other way. And you better run the other way, okay? Run, Forrest, run. Number 11. Oh my goodness, I didn't get to do the other one. Well, that's one way to look at it. So I'll finish this up, okay? Alexa's telling me that my time is up. Okay. Finally, the last subtle phrase people use when they don't actually respect you is, well, that's one way to look at it. If people are being completely honest, this is the most passive aggressive phrase someone can use. Not only is someone being dismissive, but they're also judging the other person. Wow. There's some deep thought in this, isn't it? From the way that they think to the thoughts or ideas they have. Shutting someone down by judging their input is one of the most disrespectful things someone can do. So this is why people should never use this phrase in the first place. Whether they mean for it to come across this way or not, the result is still the same. The other person is left rejected, feeling rejected. And that's Mary Lissa. Mary Lissa. Mary Lissa Reyes is a writer with a bachelor's degree in psychology who covers self-help, relationships, career, family, and astrology topics. And this is your tango.com. And so we'll go into the other one, maybe if God uh, is willing for us to do that on next Tuesday, God willing. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me here on Point of View with Miss Shirley Polk. I am so happy that you're here. Don't forget my music and my works and all of that. And you should really reward yourself with them. Okay, there are many of my songs out on the World Wide Web that you can get and add to your collection. And even my 4 section Ain't No Love series. Okay, I love you. Enjoy the remainder of your day, night, evening, afternoon, midday, morning, whichever it is. I truly thank you for being with me. On Fridays at 1 p.m. is the Mother's Board Inc. On Saturday at 7:39 p.m. is Greater Gospel Temple, Church of Praise and Worship and Inspiration of God Ministries. And then on Saturday evening is a Bible lesson session. On Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. is Sunday morning manna from heaven. On Mondays, 7 a.m. Monday morning, 5 minutes of prayer, and then we go over again. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. is from the Biblical Files of Dr. Mack. I love you so much. I'm throwing a kiss at you. You hear that?